Okay, the fine song there by the lady Yvonne Shaka Shaka of South Africa. Every woman needs a man to help her all night long. But trust me, today's Wednesday, ladies' night. The beautiful ladies around the city right now are watching. The guys, be careful, or else your watch pockets will be empty. By the time it's 10:30, let's bring it. What? Why am I talking? I don't want to say again.
No, you said today is Wednesday, understandably.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to Ivo Shaka Adikora,
Yvonne Shaka Shaka.
Shaka, she said every woman needs a man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Will that be applicable today? Today being ladies' night.
And that's one thing me and Matthias will always talk about every time we're on the program. And it is why the ladies got a day in the week called a ladies' night on Wednesday. So Matthias says you have a men's night too on Thursday.
They have a men's week.
And guess what? Ladies' night, the men will take them out. They don't take the men out.
The Liberian women hardly do that anyway.
So I asked Matthias, I said, well, why? Why it will have a men's night? Will the ladies take out too?
They will never do that.
Why?
That's Liberian women are graveyards.
Oh, now what you say?
Take you out?
Uh-huh.
How many times have women taken you for lunch? Julius, don't be crazy. Don't be blind.
I'm not blind.
No, you are blind.
That's what I'm saying.
Time immemorial, don't do that.
And so we need a men's night too. You agree?
Well, why would you be looking for a men's night? Because they ain't going to take you out.
So why the ladies got a day in a week?
Because you will take them out.
So they are graveyard. They will never receive. They don't give.
You give me the perfect definition of a graveyard. Always receive and doesn't give. Let's go on with the show.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Good morning, Monrovia. Good morning, Abel. Good morning, Robert Field. Good morning, Robert Sport. Good morning, Toyota. Good morning, Salala. Good morning, Makaxere. Good morning, Totmanberg. Good morning, Clay. Good morning, Bo Waterside. Good morning, Riverside. Good morning, Bapulu. Good morning, Buchanan. Good morning, Lack. Good morning, Cowell. Good morning, Brewerville. Virginia, Camp David. My River Edge says 50-50 on a Wednesday morning on Sky 107.1 FM with this topic. Since the end of Liberia, 14 years of civil war, the establishment of war and economic crimes could have been at the heartbeat of many Liberians. One man who has championed this advocacy for the court's establishment is my friend and my brother, Maxim Kpakio. I met Kpakio way back about 20 years ago, DC 101. He attended Charles Taylor's trial twice, 2009 and 2010, respectively. While with Max in comparison of the first 8 months of the CDC and that of the Unity Party-led government be? How will you compare two of them? What are the thoughts on Unity Party rescue mission and its challenge in the establishment of assets recovery? By 11 o'clock, our lines will be open, so you call us on those numbers on 0777 77107. Better stay coming on 0777 221 223. You'll be live from 50-50 on Sky 107. Use our Facebook page, Sky Communications Liberia. My special studio guest is my friend and my brother, Maxim Kpakio. We'll be back right after the theme song.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has all sizes of quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage also have a state-of-the-art 2023 upgraded diagnoser that can easily detect and fix any problem with your car. Is your car having any electrical problem, or is it the air conditioner? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician who is up to the task of programming and solving all electrical problems on your car. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts store on Broad Street. We also have our garage and showroom at Rehab for original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly. Come to Uptown Garage. We'll give you 1 month warranty. Uptown Garage also have a tow truck that can tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage headquarters on 0777 553317, 0886 553317, or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian-owned business, is here to put a smile on your face.
Tanu, have you heard about EcoBank Back to School giveaway?
To you again. I haven't. Tell me about it.
Tanu, for every Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or Rapid Transfer transaction done at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you can get a prize. So,
Well, I'm not understanding you. Tell me about the thing because my brother saying that children's school be first thing tomorrow.
okay, listen again. Whether you send money or receive money through Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or Rapid Transfer at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you get EcoBank branded copybooks, pens, pencils, and many other items.
Julie, I get it now. I will definitely go to EcoBank for all my Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, and Rapid Transfer transaction. That is EcoBank way of saying, welcome back to school. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Thank you very much. We're back on 50/50 on Sky 107 on a Wednesday morning. I got 3 newspapers: the Heritage newspaper, as well as the front page newspaper. Let's begin with the Heritage newspaper, as we gave you the front and back pages, the stories trending. Heritage says GAC audit reveals huge financial irregularities at the Liberia Telecommunication Authority in the fiscal year 2023. Commissioner Patrick Honda debunks salary allegation. It said bush conflict in Lofa County. Bush conflict destroys farms and rice kitchen. The back page of the Heritage newspaper says Senator Dillon advocates for the global peace at Shanghai Forum. LPRC fiscal year 2017 to 2018 financials. Auditor General uncovers over $500,000 in discrepancies. Liberian National Police arrests journalist called Nana Giamfi for illegal possession of firearms. Ugandan athlete in hospital after Kenyan petrol attack. That will do for the editorial from today's edition of the Heritage newspaper says President Baker's relentless fight against corruption must continue with intensity. Seems to me, according to the editorial, is losing steam, is slow. Let's move on to Heritage newspaper says Liberia Commission of Higher Education sinks in abuse, wastage, and fraud. It says, and I quote, a thorough investigation by the Heritage newspaper has uncovered a dossier of financial documents, including payment vouchers, requisitions, purchase orders, checks, and receipts of how Dr. Edward Wonkeyo has allegedly turned Liberia Commission of Higher Education into the haven of financial mismanagement, waste, and abuse. Against this, advise of eternal auditors and in gross violation of public financial management law of Liberia. Dr. Wonkeyo spent $4,200 to procure furniture for this private home for the $3,000 as DSA, fuel, lunch, and transportation on a data collection trip in Liberia. double payment of $2,165 for vehicle repair. Wow. And thousands of United States dollars in per dime. On top of this all, he has issued National Commission for Higher Education accreditations to dozens of mushroom colleges and predatory universities. Wow, this is a serious case. House passes presidential transition bill. It says the presidential transition bill pending Senate concurrent has been passed. The decision was made on Tuesday, September 3, 2024, in the chambers of the House of Representatives. With unanimous votes displayed, the plenary of the Honorable House of Representatives agreed to amend Title 12, Chapter 1, Part 1 of the Executive Law. The bill seeks to provide a structural legal framework that facilitates the smooth transfer of power from one president to the other. 2024 approved budget altered an investigative committee shields alleged culprit on Tuesday, September 3. The investigative committee that was set up by Councilor J. Fonatikova, Speaker of the Honorable House of Representatives, confirmed that the approved 2024 national budget was altered, but refused to name the alleged culprit involved with such a grave offense. President Joseph Boycott orders investigation into huge salaries and benefits across public enterprises. In collaboration with the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection and the ECOWAS Gender Development Center, the Ministry of Health has officially launched Liberia's National Fistula Program. According to the UN data, there are between 2 to 3.5 million women living with obstetric fistula, most in Africa. But my attention is drawn to this. President Joseph Boycott orders investigation into huge salaries and benefits across public enterprises. Seems to me far too belated. Should have known that, should have done that from the onset of his administration. Minister Jaso Jala breaches education ties in Ghana. In a definitive effort to enhance Liberia's educational sector, the Minister of Education, Dr. Jaso M. Jala, led a delegation to Ghana on a study tour that lasted 5 days. The delegation aimed to learn from the Ghanaian National School Inspectorate Authority to improve Liberia's school monitoring and supervision practices and mechanism. Amid security concern, Voice of Liberia confiscates firearm. According to a communication addressed to the Council of 12, dated September 3, 2024, the management of Voice of Liberia, through its Chief Executive Officer Sekou Sharif, has expressed alarm over what he calls a troubling revelation. CEO Sharif is seeking the immediate attention of the Ministry of Justice in a situation involving a man identified as Nana Jiamfi, who was allegedly in possession of firearm that he claimed was given to him by an EPS agent. Senator Finlay wants President Boycott decide on LDEA, Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency leadership in influx of drugs. Finlay is saying the longer it takes for Joseph Boycott to make the decision as to what he wants to do with the DEA leadership, drugs is flowing in Liberia like water from the mountain. Finlay said, and I said, Senator Finlay expressed serious concerns about the absence of legitimate leadership at the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency aimed amid the persistent influx of drugs and substance abuse in Liberia. The lawmaker believes that the fight against drugs, which is critical to Liberia's forward march, cannot be realized if the sector's agency is lacking direction and leadership. Let's move on to our final newspaper. The front page newspaper said the Asian excursion dividend. The front page Africa gathers Liberia's government delegation to Indonesia show no concrete proposal left out in big health deal. Doing the people's business, how passes national tourism and presidential transition bills. Flagrant violation, Centre urges President Joseph Nyimabwaga to revoke PPCC appointments due to procedural breach. 3 in every 5 rural Liberians have no access to toilet, costing lives and economic growth. What do they call him? Dalhin Duo, resident of Mamban Town, Masurado County, said his stomach ran for 3 days. The 3rd day, it was sunken on toilet, but he was screaming himself. He was screaming himself just like his something wanted to come outside. This how he carried him. This how we carried him to the hospital, and he did not survive. Wow, it's a bad story. House Special Committee confirms budget alteration, but fails to identify the culprit. You see the faces of Nyombli, the Honorable Speaker, Dixon Chibo. Everybody seems screaming. But why don't you name the name of the guy who altered the budget? House Special Committee report says, and I quote, the budget document of May 7 was improperly recalled from the executive mansion by the Office of Chief of Clerk, more specifically, the Deputy Chief of Clerk. The Deputy Chief of Clerk was fully warned that the attempt to recall the budget was improper and not in accordance to procedure. The back page of the front page newspaper says Connex Energy Liberia concludes its lubricant promotion. 15 lucky winners win 50 motorbikes from Connex Energy Liberia, high-profile motorbikes oil company. Those are the stories trending in the newspapers by the 3 newspapers, front page, Verity and the Heritage newspaper. You get an understanding of what's trending in Liberia. The biggest story in Liberia, keep rooming, and you got to take your time to read that and understand. It's a business as usual or something new is coming up. But let me get to what I'm here for. And I've invited my friend Maxim Kpakio since the end of the 14 years of civil war in Liberia, the establishment of war and economic crimes, have been at the core of every Liberian. One man who championed the advocacy for the court's establishment is Maxim Kpakio. He attended Charles Taylor's trial twice, 2009 and 2010, respectively. What would Maxim Kpakio comparison be of first 8 months of John Weah's government and that of JMB? What are his thoughts on the rescue mission and asset recovery? Good morning, my friend and brother Kpakio.
Yeah, good morning, big brother and veteran T-Max. It's a
Long
pleasure.
time.
Thank you. Yeah, very, very long time actually. But at least we've been on social media, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, we say hello to each other on social media. So it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for the invitation. And let me say good morning to my father and also my mentor, Martin Brown, and all of this staff here. Yeah, thank you so much for always keeping us afloat with what's happening here, even though we are not, some of us are not here. But by virtue of listening to 50/50, we are closer to our country. Thank you so much. We appreciate the invitation as well today.
Are you on vacation or what are you doing like days?
I normally wouldn't like to refer to it as vacation because this is my country where I am in the UK. Despite I've been there for over 20 years, but it's still my second home. But when I come home for a purpose and with a purpose as well. So I came mainly this trip around to launch an NGO known as Restoring Hope Foundation Liberia, which was already launched, and with a couple of textbooks as well that I have put together for elementary levels of our Liberia educational sector. And some people can refer to it as system, and I can get angry. We don't have system. So
we have sector.
Yeah. Everything we have sectors yet. We do not have system. The only thing we have system here is corruption. So that's always repeating itself. That is being monitored and evaluated and repeated. So corruption is systematic here. So yeah, we here again to at least try to continue giving back to Liberia. That's why we're here, not on vacation. But
That's what good people do. You give back to your country,
yeah,
especially a country in dire need of everything, like Liberia.
yeah, and that's why sometimes I do feel sorry and sad for this country after we have gone through a whole lot, and all we see is people scrambling to get rich out of the detriment of poor people, and their family living good life, and we continue to suffer as well. That's why I get angry, and that's why, of course, I also have the passion that, regardless of how I came up, my little £1 I get, at least 30 pence we have to go to charitable cause, and I'm happy to do that. And I just want to encourage Liberians, regardless that we have government, whatever, irrespective of how the government is running,
Mhm.
and then it is also in the states that we can refer to when you people were used to tell us, you're the big brothers used to tell us, I born here, I stay here, I die here.
Mhm.
You can citizens still have to come in to close the gap some kind of way, and that's the gap I have decided to continue giving by virtue of setting up the
The foundation.
the first advocacy organization, Justice Forum Liberia, and then from there humanitarian organization, in which I was able to rally about 1.5 tons of assorted items to fight the Ebola, and they were sent to Liberia. And so now I'm coming now, but specifically I want to look at children with disability. That's why we refer to the organization as Restoring Hope Foundation Liberia International, so that we will be able to intervene, talk with parents where that child is in our village and have a disability, but they are not sending them to school. We want to take the responsibility to pay their school fees from even kindergarten up to high school. That's a dream I have right now.
Let's go to the days, because I can
Indeed.
remember way back.
Yeah.
Charles Taylor's days.
Mhm.
I didn't know that you had developed a special interest in Charles Taylor's trial.
Mhm.
Why were you so interested? What did you want to see? Why did you? Were you there to be a witness of how
Mhm.
they will put him through the needle hole, grant him injustice?
T-Max, despite the fact that some kind of way I was able to benefit from Chancellor and the MPB directly, which actually led me to have left this country to go to Cuba and end up in the UK through a scholarship scheme. The fact remains that the MPFL destroyed this country and also destroyed my future and anybody who was born late 60 or so. They destroy our future. Many of you, including yourself, you was already in your future, but we were behind, and our future should have started in 1990. But everything was destroyed. Everything was mortgaged, and since then up to now, no one has paid the mortgage. So here it was kind of a difficult for me to find my voice to advocates, because once you have a different look in the context of Africa, they normally look at your physical appearance than what you have to offer or say. So I didn't find my voice here until I went to the UK. After the scholarship failed in Cuba, we found ourselves in the UK. I was not alone. We were about 10 young people. And
Liberians?
Yeah. We were 10 young people that were given that scholarship to go straight to Cuba and in different disciplines. But unfortunately, the MPV, who was supposed to
I will be wondering why Cuba?
Well, that was party-to-party bilateral
okay.
relationship. At the time, Fidel Castro was still alive. So his party offered a scholarship direct to the MPB.
From Fidel's government offered the scholarship.
Yeah. His political party offered the Chancellor MPB political, scholarship 10, but not government. So that's where we had a problem actually. So our status there was kind of difficult until we asked the administration that we wanted to go back to Liberia. And I can tell you, big brother, we were on our way back to Liberia, only to be rescued in London. And since then up to now, I can only tell people that we are still in transit. And so when I found my voice there, after participating in protest 2003, when the war was just about to be taken to Iraq, And I participated. I first took part in my city. I said I wanted to say something. They gave me about 10 minutes, and I spoke there. And I share, as a young person, I share with the British people why we shouldn't go to war, why Britain shouldn't go to war to Iraq, shouldn't take the war there, because children would die. And I told my story, and people were actually captured by that. From there, from the city of Swansea, I went to London, I went to Glasgow, I went to Manchester, I went to so many cities that people were just buying my train ticket, first class. I go give speech and come from there. So I realized later that
Your speech was based on what happened in Liberia, or the reluctance of Britain joining the war in Iraq?
It was based on the war that was threatening to go to Iraq.
Mhm.
And I was setting the basis to argue that the war was not necessary. Because if you go, the same thing that happened to Liberia as a young person, I saw, and I share my story. Every story that I could remember about this war, right here, living right here on Ashmore Street, Dostero. I saw things that I shouldn't have seen. So when I told those stories, I mean, people were moved and they were inviting me everywhere. And I realized I have a voice.
You have a voice.
And people are listening to my voice as well. So boom, Chancellor issue started. Do you know that when Chancellor was caught, that there was bait by the ICC put up for country to stand up as to who would jail him or will host him in jail if he found guilty. There are a lot of countries that actually put their hand up, because money there as well, money there. So the United Kingdom actually won the bid. So when the trial started, I was following the trial first. I started following it online or so. People, unfortunately, here in Liberia, opportunity was not there for people to watch that. So, and later I found out that over 300 witnesses were flown from Liberia. Some of them, they never even saw Monrovia in their life. That was their first time to.
The witnesses,
yes,
witnesses against Charles Taylor.
Yeah, and then I started following it, and then from there later on, I said, "Well,
you saw them."
Yeah. Well, that's what made me to actually buy my ticket. Went to The Hague, and I went to the court. It was open. They have public area that anybody can sit down also. And then I watched the proliferation of Liberians coming in, going out. And I listened to some of them, and some of them were even co-compatriots to him, and they were giving testimonies
against
putting him in the hole.
Wow.
And I watched everything, and I said, wow, what is happening? And Timas, this is what happened.
Kpakio, can you name them?
This is what happened.
Can you name those what I would call the traitors and the Nicodemuses and the Judases of Charles Taylor?
I won't actually refer to them as Nicodemuses also. They played their role, and it was time for them to say perhaps the truth or so.
Until I saw them face to face.
Oh, he's sitting there in the dark. Do you know that Charles Taylor was put on trial for the war on Sierra Leone, right? But 98%, my 2-time visits there on 2 different occasions, 98% of the cross-examination, both done by his lawyer and the prosecuting lawyers, come on, we're all about Liberia and his time here.
Not the Sierra Leone war.
That's what I was wondering.
Why was he taken there?
Yeah, why now we push for the establishment of war and economic crimes court for Liberia instead of days or so? Sierra Leone, up to now, Sierra Leone is sending people to Rwanda to jail. Now, when I went home, I went back to the UK, I decided to say, well, you know why? Even though Charles Taylor was put on trial for the war in Sierra Leone, but what's about the war in Liberia? So myself, I decided to start the advocacy calling for the establishment of war and economic crimes court for Liberia, or the full implementation of the TRC recommendations. And from there, year on, since 2009, I didn't have any drawback. I went to the House of Parliament many times on 3 different occasions under the leadership of Theresa May and David Cameron. Yeah, I presented the TRC report to the government of the UK, asking them. I wrote them personal letters and things, and I received response and everything. And those responses, in fact, the response that the government of the United Kingdom gave me that time actually helped me to also educate the Liberian people here who were asking as to where we're getting money from. So I was educating people as well. The international code, the ICC, the International Criminal Code, the ICC, have what they refer to as crisis fund, something like that. Now, these funds are the ones that was even used for Charles Taylor trial. Sierra Leone didn't pay a dime.
Not a dime.
No. So when the UK government replied to me, they explained this, that although we will be in the back, but the Liberian people have to be, even the RCC, I wrote them, the Liberian people have to take the lead to say that they want the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code. United Kingdom is one of the huge contributor to the funds that support such. So we'll continue to put the money in the covers there. Whenever Liberia will benefit, like how other countries are benefiting as well. So that's why I decided to say, well, I'm not going to give up now, and I'm going to continue. That's why you saw me here. Sometimes I will come for 3 days just to have a protest calling for a War and Economic Crimes Code, and I go back.
Let's go back to the Taylor. You are interested in watching Taylor in the docket.
Yeah.
And did he seem remorseful? You watched it. Did the Gange seem remorseful?
No.
Or arrogant?
No. This is a man that I saw at the party headquarters almost every time, every day. Even though, I just graduated from high school and I was just around here. I didn't have any contact in Monrovia or so, but then I became friend with the MPP through some people. And this country board, that's how actually he got this. And I met him several times, even during special meetings of the party and thing. If I have chosen to even getting a job, I wouldn't have traveled. But to me, when they got to me, I told them, I said, I want foreign scholarship. That's how I left from here. But many of my friends who were activists in the party actually they stayed here and they got jobs, assistant minister, directors, this and that. But I decided, no, since I don't have strong background to help me with my education, I want scholarship. That's how I left. So he was in remorseful. I really wouldn't want to say that. He wasn't I lose him to his physical appearance to be remorseful, but he was defending his case. That's what I saw. And he wasn't looking, it was the once, or twice I saw him almost in the quest of sharing tears when certain questions were asked.
Such questions like?
There was a massacre that took place somewhere.
In Firestone?
In Firestone.
The Kadakian massacre or what was that? Or
the
one that took place in Duporo massacre or what? We have a lot of massacre sites.
The one in Duporo, I was here, and the one in Kadakian. And when they
put the question to him?
Yeah. He paused, and then he took a handkerchief to wipe his face.
Which means he was remorseful or what happened?
Yeah, at that moment he was remorseful. I think he regretted because he saw it, and we took bodies. Myself, I was involved. We took bodies and went and dumped them to the U.S. embassy right outside. I was there. We did it to call the attention of the U.S. government. And so, in another side, that I would say yes, he was kind of a remorseful because it's reflection and memories of what happened and how people were killed, including children and pregnant women. Perhaps that hits him high. And I saw that he expressed that as well. But what I saw was a cross-examination that 98% of the questions were all based about Liberia and his life in Liberia, even his family, how many women he got married to, everything came up in the trial and thing, how many children he have and thing came up. And so seeing that, I thought it wise that this war was not brought in Liberia by Charles Taylor alone. It was crafted by a couple of Liberians. And this is why I'm still having problem with EULA. Especially last year, when my big brother, Nathaniel McGill, went to their program, give them 100,000 to have that program. It hurts me. The only person that stood there for Liberians was former ambassador Nathaniel Barnes, who challenged them. And even July was even promised right there that almost 300,000 would be put in the
budget for them for July.
Yeah. From 2023 to 20, up. And I started reacting to that story. This war, the 14 years civil war, or I can say civil upheaval that took place in Liberia, was crafted by Liberians, not foreigners. And even if you check in the TRC report, who names do you find there first? It was a very woman you're rewarded with presidency, even though the TRC say 30 years, they shouldn't get closer to presidency. You should reject them. You sat down here. You say, yeah, that woman, that iron lady. Come on.
But we did the same thing, Kpakio. When we were saying, you can remember, we used to be in studio saying, you came my mind, you came my part.
We heard that.
And Taylor became
the
benefactor of that slogan.
Yes,
he won.
We heard that.
So why wouldn't hell he win?
There's an argument for that. An argument, my late father told me about that. That at this particular stage, Charles Taylor is still having a huge control all over the country, in budgets, everywhere, that the boys were still ready and they can take up arms anytime. And I saw that as a young person.
But we voted willingly. We voted.
Yeah, that's why the people.
Gange won more than 80% of the ballots.
Yeah, because
we voted.
Yes,
nobody forced us to go vote.
No, nobody forced you. Nobody forced you. But people voted on a protest, and the protest was, if we don't give it to him, we might continue with the war. Let's just give it to him.
That was democracy at play.
So
we voted. The ballot box is the ultimate decider of, you didn't trust your whole life into the hands of somebody
at that time.
And Gange,
and then at that time as well,
never had a gun.
And that time as well,
I saw he never had a gun. We willingly willingly voted for
but then at the same time, another argument could be, at the time you were not told about the TRC, nothing, because nothing was in the pipeline yet. Okay, the TRC, the crafting of the TRC or whatever, nothing was in the picture. So perhaps if we were educated at that time, the TRC of the Akosombo Accord, the last Akosombo Accord, was going to say, this is it, we crafted this document and this is the document we're going to work on. But I don't know whether they were still afraid of Charles Taylor. So, and then all those that participated in war, they shouldn't, participate in politics. Then perhaps Liberian people would have been educated and maybe they were going to run the sound judgment. But at that time, that was not on the table. And the people's fear was, if we don't vote Charles Taylor, the war will continue. So that was the excuse. And for me as a young person, I did listen to that excuse. But in the context that we came now to the real democratic election, in which we were already educated, there was the TRC report on the table. And then the TRC now says that the incoming president, the incoming government, right after Charles Taylor, should implement the TRC report. Now, one thing again, I think, Timas, that justice was not done to Liberia as well during that time was that the education of the Liberian people was not done about the TRC enough. It wasn't. So perhaps
the
awareness.
You said the awareness was not sufficient.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think.
And so you would think that people voted in 2005 out of ignorance?
Out of ignorance, and for those who actually didn't do our justice as well to educate us, especially the TRC body, they have themselves to blame as well, to take that blame. But I was actually kind of hurt when one of the person who crafted the war is serving 50 years, and the other people were given welcome ceremonies. They were laid red carpets for them to work on, and they were rewarded with lifetime achievement jobs.
In other words, you're saying that whatever Taylor is going through doesn't deserve that.
It deserves it only if the rest of them follow. But he does deserve some sort of punishment. And I mean, especially in the context of Liberia, because what happened in this country, an estimated number of 250,000 people.
Mhm.
Some of them were babies. And I walked from Ashmore Street here to Bummy Hill. I saw a mother, a pregnant woman. We met this pregnant woman on the roadside, have given birth, but the both of them died. That story is another one that I thought the war was evil. That it was even more evil for them to have mortgaged our resources and take arms and come and kill us, only for power. So I don't see any. That's why I've been to about 7 intellectual centers already to speak on corruption and all the stuff. And the historical context of Liberia alluding to corruption. For me, I can only count from Tobo days. That's when it was around, and my father used to tell me.
So let's you went to see Charles Taylor.
Mhm.
I would assume.
Yeah.
I would assume that
I went to witness the trial.
wasn't the trial and see what would be there to this bad man in your mind, or you want to find out whether is verdict will be justifiable or not.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to.
Did you see that justifiable?
You know, if it comes to legal arguments,
The Sierra Leonean war crime code were for Sierra Leone, but its contents were for Liberia.
yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I witnessed, and I saw it. I saw him in that docket like a lonely lion in the desert, lost. And the only person that was closer to him was Colonel Griffiths,
Yeah,
his lawyer, his last
lawyer.
lawyer. I met him and I talked to him one-on-one. I even asked him,
who were the Liberians that went there to testify against Charles Taylor?
well, a lot of them, I think.
You don't want to name them,
Yeah, I think let me leave it that way because they know themselves.
but
Those who testify against, and then it was right after that trial, in fact, when Tom Woyu wrote a communication addressed to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I'll forward you that communication. It's heart touching, and I had said to myself, I wish Tom perhaps would have sent this communication out in 2004 and let it be publicized. Maybe Liberian people somehow sense it.
Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
Yeah, sensing they were not giving good awareness on the issue of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission recommendations. Maybe this letter could also help.
Letter would have helped to deny Ellen Johnson Sirleaf of the Liberian presidency. You think?
Yeah,
It didn't happen. So let's leave the war a little bit. Let's leave Charles Taylor. He's there 50 years. That's what his verdict is. Then, since according to you, we were not sort of more informed to make that sort of informed decision.
no,
We it ended the way it ended that Charles Taylor is serving his sentence.
Yeah.
Why you advocated for the War and Economic Crimes Court?
Well, something terribly went on in this country, and that went on in this country.
That is history behind us now. We need none scratch all ones. They have been behind us because
The reason,
like me, if I have not forgotten though the way my father was killed. I mean, I don't want to relive that sort of thing in my head anymore.
I will continue to share mine.
If you want us to, since you were an advocate of the War and Economic Crimes Court, it will mean that you open all wounds.
No, that's why.
And people are saying today to you, Kpakio, if this were to go on the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court, there'll be no peace in Liberia. Do you buy that?
No. That's why I educated Liberian people strongly on it. That's what took me from here to go to the Gambia when the TRRC was just about to wake up. And the Gambians, some of them were against it. Oh, when you touch Yaya Jammeh,
There'll be no Gambia.
there will be no Gambia. I went to Gambia on the fact-finding mission. I went to Sierra Leone, still on this issue of war and economic transport. I went and spoke to the people who were in front of the TRC in Sierra Leone. Now, that fear mongering was being built in the Gambia. But the moment the people started their work, the citizens came together and said, well, this thing is for our own benefit. No one should go with impunity, or else the children will do the same thing.
In other words, that fear mongering that is still on the corridor of Liberia, that people have said, if you bring War and Economics Crime Code, there will be no peace in Liberia.
Well,
we should not pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and close this ugly chapter of impunity.
And this is why we continue to even hear issues about corruption. The reason that 3 years ago in Cambodia, and 2 elderly guys who were driving the quest of the Khmer Rouge there that killed so many people. One of them was 105, and the other one was about 95. They finally sentenced them to life in prison. Let them not go with impunity. Well, do you know that World War II, that even one of the last person they sent 4 years ago to jail was a 98-year-old woman who was with Hitler, and she was already in a wheelchair, but they found her guilty and they sentenced her to life. Now, that is justice for the country. What can it be done in Liberia as well?
Why do you think Liberians are taking against this?
I think the people that are taking against this are the people who benefited from it, or either they have somebody who actually could be brought for questioning as well. This is the same thing about fighting corruption, which we'll come and talk about later today. You touch the other person, no, don't touch it, because the person, is my protection and thing. So that's the only reason. But I don't really want to talk about educating people now, because what I wanted, I was praying God for, that God should give me life, that I should be around for me to see it being established, is the War and Economic Crimes Code. And I'm hugely delighted today. In fact, the day that I saw the President Joseph Boakai actually putting pen down.
He put pen to pay. That's not the reality. He just signed it. You heard Gangi.
Thank God.
My word is not a Bible.
Thank God.
He put pen to paper.
Yeah.
So what is it? What are we now? We have not done anything to that.
Thank God, T-Max. Because I said 2009, I founded Justice Forum Liberia. And I've been coming to Liberia to have protests and go back, calling for this thing. My Ellen didn't give her any attention. No, she couldn't, because why? She was right. Former President Weah couldn't give her any attention because of his own personal reason as well. And so,
what could be his reason? What could be Weah's reasons?
Well, I think once upon a time when he came from abroad, they asked him question about War Crimes Code. He asked her whether we want development or War Crimes Code. That was the end. So obviously he wasn't interested. How many times I didn't come to Liberia here to do a protest, and we made attempt to hand over our petition to him. He didn't give us any attention. At least.
But I put pen to paper.
Then the minimum. That's why when I came 3 days after, I went and met the president. We sat down. And tomorrow I'm meeting with the British ambassador on the same thing. I will put it on the table. Unless all of us support this quest, the issue of impunity, children that we're bringing up, we also feel tomorrow that it is good. When you struggle, you can't get it. It is good to go in the bush, gang yourself together, come and topple the government, and you start to get rich. They will be thinking like that. But if we set precedent, come on, man, if there are even 20 people, we sentence them. That will make a huge difference. But if we don't do it, we cover this hole. And people say, old wounds and what? I'm not going to wake up old wounds. Look, the wounds are living with me. My uncle, the same way many people lost their parents. I lost my uncle in 4 years. Like
people that stay traumatized.
Yeah, I mean, we are hugely traumatized. And we need to be de-traumatized by virtue of us making sure that the truth and reconciliation recommendations are fully implemented through the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code for Liberia.
So we deal with this issue that for once and for all,
that's it.
The spirit of impunity.
People have justice for.
Let's take our break, and when we come back, I will be asking some serious difficult political question, and I will ask him to answer them right after the break.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has all sizes of quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage also have a state-of-the-art 2023 upgraded diagnoser that can easily detect and fix any problem with your car. Is your car having any electrical problem? Or is it the air conditioner? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician who is up to the task of programming and solving all electrical problems on your car. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street. We also have our garage and showroom at Rehab for original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly. Come to Uptown Garage. We'll give you 1 month warranty. Uptown Garage also have a tow truck that can tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage headquarters on 0777 553317, 0886 553317, or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian-owned business, is here to put a smile on your face.
Tanu, have you heard about EcoBank Back to School giveaway?
Julie, you again. I haven't. Tell me about it.
Tanu, for every Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or Rapid Transfer transaction done at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you can get a prize. So,
Well, I'm not understanding you. Tell me about the thing because my brother saying that children's school be first thing tomorrow.
okay, listen again. Whether you send money or receive money through Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, or Rapid Transfer at any EcoBank branch or sub-agent location, you get EcoBank branded copybooks, pens, pencils, and many other items.
Julie, I get it now. I will definitely go to EcoBank for all my Western Union, MoneyGram, RIA, and Rapid Transfer transaction. That is EcoBank way of saying, welcome back to school. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Thank you very much. Back on 50/50 on Sky 107, our special studio guest, Maxim Kpakio. We've been talking about his he witnessed child sales trial 2 times, 2009 and 2010. He talked in advocating a state advocating for the establishment of water and economic crime with a view that will bring halt to this this culture of impunity. Let me take you back into today's Liberian politics.
Yeah.
Yesterday was George Weah's government. Today's JMB's government.
Mhm.
Let's look at the first 8 months of the two government. How will you compare them?
Well,
Which one I will ask you definitely
yeah.
is people driven. Which one in the first 8 months of Weah's government was it people driven? Did they bring any reform? JMB's government. Is it people driven? Is it bringing new changes?
Well,
Or are they the same? There's no
Well,
difference.
well, comparison. You asked comparison. As far as my memories is concerned of
Mhm.
collectiveness with respect to the governance of the former CDC as a governing party. I mean, first 8 months. I think what I saw is a sheer scramble for wealth in the eyes of the young people. Perhaps I would say we're given opportunity to transform themselves.
Which of the governments?
I'm talking about the CDC. I
The
said
CDC.
so, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the first 8 months and even beyond, up to a year and a half, which I was keeping schools on, I saw these young people scrambling to
Grab and go.
grab, to bank, and to be
Build.
somewhere. I saw these young people saying that it is good for you to first pocket it before, if it is enough to share, then before you can think about others. And I saw young people, very young people, that it was a test given them, who didn't see any other object beyond them. They didn't see any other person beyond them. And so the first 8 months and beyond, up to a year and a half, I saw nothing but people who were only after getting the worth and not looking after the people. So in comparison, if you ask for comparison, in the first 8 months of this government, it's called the rescue mission, right?
According to United Party government.
Yeah, okay, Unity Party government. I have seen a signs of transformation. Whether this sign of the sign that I am seeing, whether everybody is saying
We
that,
have the same young people, like you said. We are a bunch of young guys.
that's
In
why.
your observation, we're scrambling for wealth.
Yeah.
Get it, grab it,
Mhm.
put it in your pocket, or go to the bank it.
Indeed.
And when it's overflowing, then you think about whatever governor without beyond 8 months.
Yeah.
GMB have the same bunch of young people. What are they doing?
Well,
Are they repeating the same scenes of we are government in 8 months?
from my observation, especially leading up to this point of today, that's about 7 months or so, the few young people that I have followed have proven to me that they are serious for their country and people.
They're not grabbing and going.
Especially, no, I mean, at least I'm following them, and a lot of
They're not
people.
grabbing.
On social, I'm not seeing them. I'm not seeing people complaining personally about them. Also, I'm not seeing them living in a hotel for a year or so, like how it happened in the past. I saw people who spent nearly a year in a hotel that taxpayer monies were paying for. And I'm seeing these young people, some of them are passionate. And perhaps because they fell into why the 6 year was kind of a misruled. They saw it and they are feeding the pain, they felt the pain as well, that Liberia shouldn't be like this, a post-war country. And I think a lot of them having this at the back of their mind, and a lot of them still have their children here. And because of that, they are investing and giving back. So
they're not scrambling for money, just that we have people did, according to you.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not seeing that yet. I'm yet to see that, especially when I saw the first 3, 4, 5 months where people were just buying land and building, I know, medium, I know how you call it here. Also, the high rises building, and people were just, transforming from 3 bedrooms to a mansion also on a year time also. At least I'm not seeing that happening. Yes, I'm not hearing people justifying that. At least I'm stealing, but I'm giving scholarship to people here.
Who said that?
So
who said that?
I think I heard something like
from whom?
I saw something like that.
I'm stealing, but yet I'm giving scholarship.
2-3 years ago, I think it was the current senator of Magibi, my own big brother,
Nugwe?
Miguel.
Oh, Miguel.
I remember him saying that at least we're using the money here, but other people, when they steal it, they carry abroad. But I'm not.
Did he then make those? Yes, we're stealing the money, but we keep it.
I think I heard that, T Max. If you didn't hear that,
I didn't hear that.
Oh, okay. Then I just want to remind you. Now,
wow.
If it reached to this stage that I am not seeing these young people doing this, but the pirating, go to the one entity that I will underscore here is the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. I lived up Duko here for so many years. I grew up to get water. In Central Monrovia here, it was difficult. I mean, when I see these technicians today digging holes with their hands, I mean, really big holes to change and transform pipes and things. This guy is a young guy. When I go to the LPRC and I'm seeing a blueprinted transformation documents how they want the LPRC to be. That means a lot as well. They'll have the vision and then put the vision into use.
But that building was erected
but
by that building, the LPRC was erected by we are.
That building was also crafted by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf blueprint.
Okay, it's completed by we are.
What's about the National Housing and Saving Bank that right behind you here? How many years now?
You asked everybody. How many years there?
So
Doe did it.
So it was crafted.
Doe left it.
Yeah.
Ellen came and left it.
Okay.
We are came and left
So
it.
that's the thing.
Just like Imam Baka will leave it.
I hope not.
You hope not.
I hope not. And that one I am going to remind him face to face again. And so the scramble for wealth is what actually at the very early stage, which we can say the 8 months of the CDC-led government, actually damaged their political career. Because every Liberian started complaining. Why are these people building like this? Why are they, just not focusing on this and whatsoever? Even, on small things or whatsoever, education, everything is backward and thing. But if we are not seeing it as compared to now, then I don't think we should have qualm. I think what all of us need to actually pursue now is to keep putting fire on the back of the government, remind them of their promises so they can do the best thing.
Okay,
and I really like how the Liberian people are doing it now.
We'll open the lines, but let me ask, just like Imam Baka, I got two more concerns to raise. Styled or crafted his government under this mantra of rescue.
Yeah.
If you look at it, are we rescuing? Is his government rescuing people? I want to put it on you practically. When somebody who yearns for rescue is a guy who is in a deplorable condition, wants his life to be better, do you see him rescuing people?
Crafting a document is one thing, especially politically. I'm a student of politics.
In reality, is he rescuing people?
The rescuing
with show. I was this distant from this. I was paying this hard money. They were too corrupt.
Yeah.
I'm taking it from them. They're not gonna be. How is his government rescuing people?
I think from the start I saw
or is business as usual?
No, I don't think it's business as usual. I saw it from the start, T-Max. The start was about this asset recovery. And
it's dead.
Which are working.
It's dead now.
I don't know if it's dead.
We don't know anything about it now.
I don't want to believe that it is dead.
We don't see anything happening.
By virtue of you not...
You launched it, it's dead.
By virtue of you not being in the domain of the public doesn't mean that you are not working.
What are you doing?
So
they got in the domain of the public by confiscating Gracious Ride, and
yes,
everybody was GMB going to do something dramatic.
That was
all of a sudden it went cold.
That was a huge mistake, and which of course I did. I was in London, and I communicated directly I sent a text message to the president and to the minister of state.
Is he your family? Why you have so much leverage with the president?
He's my president. I used to write President Weah beside Ellen Johnson, my Ellen. President Weah, I have a bucket of letters and text messages or so.
Did we reply to your messages?
No, only one time he
did he reply to any of your letters?
Only one time he answered my call, and when he got to know.
What was the call about?
No, it was about education and my quota. After meeting him in Paris, one-on-one, I presented him to. I presented the book that I wrote, the textbook.
What did he
the
say
first
to you?
one.
What did he say to you?
I think it's okay. Let me deal with the other issue. Now, they started well, but they starting with the words was okay. But when I saw how they were putting our people down from the cars and putting family down and taking those cars, I got angry, and that makes me angry. And I sent messages that this shouldn't be done.
You sent a message to GMB
and the Minister of State.
What did they say to you in reply?
Well, obviously, at least I sent a message, even if you don't reply to me.
You want the action.
Silent me concern. And the action I wanted, that what happened. I told them that it was wrong to stop anybody in the street, Liberian in the street, and put them down because you want to take car from them. Go to the GSA, get the roster, invite those people, invite them for conference, and ask them questions. That's simple as that. Let the person come and justify why they keep in the car, how they got it. Instead of you just stopping them in the street. The gracious right as well. This is a company, for God's sake. It's not a foreign company that will just pack up and leave and put all the cars, on the train or so and leave. No. Call them the same thing, write them, investigate them or whatever. And when that's happened, at least by now they're doing their job on the ground, and I like the same way the anti-grabs are also working. Do the investigation on the ground. When there's time to invite somebody, you just write them and invite them. That's it. Instead of you going try to grab the person and then before you want to find out from them. That's not the way to go. No. So they start, it's okay.
So if you were to compare like you were doing, 8 months to 8 months, JMB are much, much better than George we are.
No, but where do we saw fighting corruption? The other one came is the vampires. Nothing happened and thing. And they came as well with the same mantle. Oh, we fought corruption to death. But what all I can say is that, look, it is disheartening for this country, 177, for us to be talking about corruption now.
Thank you very much. It's your time to participate. Call me on those numbers, 07777 or you call me on 077221223. Special studio guest, Maxim Kpakio, the guy who took the streets advocating for the establishment of the World and Economic Crimes Court. He went to London, to The Hague, to see my friend Gange behind bars, look him in the eyes, and see how remorseful Gange was. Those are the numbers. Let's go to the line, talk to our very first caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Mr. Kpakio, and I work with many listeners and viewers on the broadcast. My name is Slomo Jr. This morning, people. I'm listening to them, Mr. Kpakio, and actually, he's right.
The guy line is terrible. I'm not getting anything from that guy.
Because the thing that is holding us back in this country, it is the culture of the ability that have long existed. Some people are committed, both economic and work and
Julius, I'm not getting anything out of that guy. I don't know what he was trying to say. So call me on those numbers on 0777 777-107. You'll be live from 50/50 on Sky. Use our Facebook page, Sky Communications Liberia. Call us on Better State on 777-221-223. Special studio guest, Maxim Kpakio. Let's go back to line 3. Talk to our next caller. Good morning. Good morning. The line is terrible, Julius. Something is not working. Call me on those numbers on 0777-777-107. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm not getting you. Can we take a break? Good morning.
Good morning.
Kimia, good morning. Go ahead.
Yes, I listen to the studio guest. He has spoken enough. And firstly, for his ambition, I'll give him a pat on the back. There are young people who got degrees and they are just running for jobs. But fighting for higher education is positive. So I'll commend him. And his advocacy for the World Economic Crimes Court, he said that there was not much advocacy done. But Ellen was one of the actors. So in her own way, she couldn't have put anything on her throat. So that was the side. But we expected President Weah to commission the World Economic Crimes Court. But I see that Bwaka is setting on the same path. I myself, I'm a victim. My mother died during these war circumstances. We don't have a grave for my mother. We don't have a Decorations Day. So I'm grieving. The World Economic Crimes Court is needed for now because people die under inhumane circumstances. So the perpetrators must come to vote and make an apologetic message to the Liberian people for what they did. And it did not benefit us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 0777. Let's go back to line 1. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, T-Max, and let me say good morning to your studio guest.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name, please?
Thank you. My name is Zach F. Bembo, and I call from Upper Cardwell.
Go ahead.
T-Max, let me commend your studio guest. And I am one person who also has the belief that if those who have committed a church who I will never be satisfied. T-Max, I did not get victim marks directly, like some of our friends lost their family member in this crisis that we went through. But I got affected indirectly when it comes to the issue of education, delayed in our educational process as a result of this foolish war that we fought. T-Max, I feel those who created this problem should not go with impunity. And that is the reason why we are still engaging our government to making sure that the establishment of the War and Economic Bank Code is a must.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, T-Max.
My brother, what's your name, please?
Yeah, this is William calling from here again, Johnson.
Go ahead.
Yeah, T-Max, the problem is that I'm very surprised of Maxim Kpakio. They are not being genuine to the whole district. Maxim Kpakio of somebody who is a human rights advocate. These are the people that don't want this country. If Maxim Kpakio can sit down and grade president, we are government serious. Then he say in the 8 months, President Kpakio is doing more than self-work. It's unfortunate. Maxim Kpakio can stop this. That will not make you a patriotic citizen. As a human rights advocate,
wait now.
Yeah.
Wait. You can't tell Kpakio what to say. You can't tell Kpakio how to grade. I've given you the chance to say what you think about what did you say.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I said, Maxim Kpakio, they funded just real time. They fought 3 months. So we have breakdown for a lot of projects and we're taking place. That's the mental hospital and the top community. And now, that's a project in the first 4 months. Then Maxim Kpakio said that nothing will happen.
You agree? Do you agree with Maxim Kpakio when he said the fight? Wait. Let me talk now. You're talking like what does I roll? Let me talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you agree with him that he said the first 6 to 8 months, Georgia was building his homes? You agree with me?
That's not true. Start building in the second year. It was not in the first 6 months. The first 6 months for the metal was building. The first 6 months, the documented growth. The people. I don't recognize as a human rights advocate because that's not what he's saying now. It's just like maybe he's looking for a job.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number. Let's go back to line 1 again. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Tima, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
Tima, this is Musa Tamra. Tima, the still guys, he says some cool thing, but now he says something cool. Tima is that still there. What he wants like he telling. He says one time, you are building an oil room. People are speaking for their own thing, and the government get to say, people are suffering the project. But it's a problem that all the competence are you know what you want to do. Don't tell your people, you say, do it. There's so many things. Some of our
the line is very, very distorting. Let's go back to line 4. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jlateh.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, my name is Maxson. I'm calling for around the country.
Go ahead.
Yes, I want to say, Mr. Kpakio, the speak for thanks for a elaboration this morning on the radio. And for me, I think it makes me in the sense that if I do it was not a different from war, if I tell my hands to this war, but when I want to bear the punishment, which are considered, so it's not only the considered, let war to come. The AFPC that put on my hands today, so job was a former representative in China. And all of the what are the only components? I don't know how to so back yourself. There is any way for anything on the body of material and subject that you call by any idea. That's my concern about
Thank you very much. Somebody Max Jlateh. Let's go back to line 2. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name, please?
Yeah, good morning, T-Man. I'll be grateful for your studio guest. And I thank him. He's one of the grandsons of the soil. But I want to ask him one question.
Go ahead.
With all his people of going around to observe this case against Chancellor and other people, did he ask the people how Chancellor was really free? How that Chancellor break gate for America to
elite
the war on Liberia?
The man went to the Hague to see how Chancellor was being tried. Now how Chancellor left America. You know why he went? Chancellor didn't go to the Hague because he broke, according to you, he broke jail in America. He went there to watch the trial. Thank you very much. Let's go back to line 1. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My brother, what's your name, please? Oh, good morning.
Hello.
I'm listening to you loud and clear. Good morning. Good morning. Well, I think that's the end of this section of the phone programs. You want to comment on what it says? Some of the stuff that you listen to.
Yeah, let me say I appreciate the callers as well. This is what I say just before you start the call, taking the calls. I like how Liberians are speaking now, and I want them to continue. This is how democracy works. In a society that people are given the opportunity to express themselves and say whatever they want to say, it's good. It's happening in the United Kingdom. I listen to talk show. I've been in the media there for some times. I would take calls and people will say what they want to say. But the only thing I want to remind some people is that I told Big Brother T-Max at the start here, when I was in Liberia growing up, I never found my voice because I was taken to be different. And I was 2 years old, I suffered from polio. So nobody could see any other thing besides my physical appearance. And so I couldn't say anything here. Like I say again, I went and found my voice. And perhaps because of what I went through before reaching this stage, maybe I could say, well, there's no need for me to give back because myself, I suffered too much. Let me enjoy my British pounds also. But I started to give back and I stayed giving back. Now that I found my voice, nothing, no human being, regardless whatever you feel about me, that's your own personal thing. You will express it, and I will want you to express it. Once you do that, I mean, civically, I am okay with that. You can say whatever you want to say. What will come into my mind, especially as far as the issue of about Liberia is concerned, I will say it the way it's supposed to be said. And I will remind this government again, the fight against corruption should not be compromised.
If I were to ask you back to the first 6 months, I'm taking the whole period. Is Joseph Nyimabwaka generally fighting corruption?
Yes.
What are the indicators?
Well, the empowerment of anti-graft institutions and the way they are also giving us the finishing products.
The same people,
at least
they were here when I was here.
Yeah.
Nobody tied them to give the same assessment that they're giving now. What are they doing it now?
Did you hear
when they could not do it yesterday?
Did you hear that time when Mr. Weah was asked, former president, about fighting corruption? He said that corruption, to fight it in Liberia is difficult because we are all family. That was beyond belief, the scope of understanding as far as fighting corruption is concerned. Knowing what we have gone through. The people told us when I was small, you was a big man in town. The people told you for you to tell us with the children that they killed Tobo because of corruption, and they killed a lot of people. The same people came again and told you that they killed President Doe and 250,000 people because they wanted to kill corruption. There are not 13 people they put on the post behind there on PSP and say that from that day corruption was murder in this country, was finished after killing people, killing those 13 people, then why we stay here talking about corruption? When Taylor was taken out today as well because they said he was corrupt. Why are we still talking about corruption? Ellen came to power with a mantle of fighting corruption, referring to corruption as vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire, you know what you're supposed to do with vampire? Especially the way vampire can destroy human being. You know what you're supposed to do with vampire? We didn't see that happening. And it's again, I will refer to him as an indigenous son of the soil, took the mantle of power. Pressing on corruption, I mean, the response was really, really discouraging. Corruption is difficult to fight in this country because we are all one family.
AGM fighting corruption, I'm asking you.
Yeah, he is. That's why I said
I want to hear it. I want to see the indicators.
I just told you the indicators. The fact of the matter is
empowering the anti-crowds.
Yes, and at least those who are responsible to make sure that auditing go on are not being haunted. At least we have not heard any of them complaining that they have been chased.
You seem to suggest that in the days of auditors were haunted.
But what about the case of the 4 auditors? I told you during our conversation. I mean, behind closed the conversation.
We have said those guys. We have said they were making love.
We
have said the auditors were making love.
I was present.
It was Romeo and Juliet on Broad Street.
By the invitation of the Ministry of Justice, I went to St. Moses and witnessed the autopsy procedure of those 4 auditors. Before Shalom Musu case came in, I went there again to witness the autopsy procedures. I know what I saw inside the bodies.
What did you see?
Know what I saw.
What did you see
in those things? So
the auditors, what did you see?
Thank God that number one, thank God that auditors are not complaining that they've been haunted and they fight against corruption. All I want is that the auditing should continue, swift action, all necessary tools available to fight corruption. President Joseph Boakai must use them if we want to rebuild this country, if we want to get this country back. Don't leave no stone untouched. Reach everywhere that corruption is. People will say witch hunt, but even in the United Kingdom, it can happen when they're ready to hunt them. They bring you down. In other countries, China, you don't do it. Indonesia, you don't do it. Because you do it, that will be your last day. Once you found guilty, it will be your last day on earth. I don't want such punishment to be here, but at least if somebody is sentenced to 25 years, property confiscated, put it back in the government covers, precedents will be set, impunity will be kicked away, and then even our international partners, like they normally tell me, they will be very, very happy.
Thank you very much, my friend and brother, Maxim Kpakio, for sharing the time with us. On that note, we come to the end of this edition of 50/50. My name is T Max. Tomorrow morning, I'll be here to conduct another 50/50 edition. See you. Have a fantabulous day. Bye-bye for now.